And we are live. We should be at least. Let's see who is going to be first to join today. I just need to get things set up on the back end, guys. Let's see. Who is going to be first to join today? Are we up on the TikTok yet? Looks like we are. Let's see. I'm just joining myself, guys. Let me know. Can you hear me? Slightly earlier than normal today. Let's see who is going to be first to join today. If anybody, I mean, it's definitely a lot earlier, so who knows? Maybe people won't know we're live. Tanisha says, I'm here. We can hear you, Maths Goat. Hey, come on. Rehan says, are you live on YouTube? Yes, I am. Indeed, I am. So I'm live on both at the same time. We don't currently actually have anyone on the YouTube feed. Hopefully that will change in the next couple of minutes. I can see 6 people now on the YouTube. Ooh, okay. Nofila says, hi, I'm first to join. Awesome, good to have you. I just need to refresh my chat on the back end, guys. AI says, which year is this paper? Hey, it's a bit weird that it doesn't say it. This, guys, is the 2022 paper. This is the June 2022 higher paper. And let me just write on, because I know people are going to be wanting to rush at the start. We're starting at 5:05 p.m. today. Starting at 5:05. Nice to see that the YouTube chat is up and running now. We've got Nafila in the house. We've got LQ08. We've got A. Guys, welcome. Good to have you. Samai said, I'm foundation, but I'll watch. Yep, definitely still good practice, especially focusing on the first 10 questions. They're going to be our overlap questions. Smoky Clip says 3:05. Not sure what you mean by that one. Let me know in the chat, mate. 3:05 or 5? Oh, habit. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Smoky Clips. Now I know what you mean. Not 5:05. Not 5:05, 3:05, 3:05. Guys, that's how used I am to going live at 5 o'clock. We've been live I think 25 times in the last 27 days or something. Every single one pretty much starting at 5. So that was just a little bit of habit. We are actually okay, now it's 3:05 already. 3:05 already. Should I give people a little bit more time or should we get into it? Guys, tomorrow we're going to be doing 2 papers, 2 EdXL papers. Today we have 2 AQA papers. We're doing the higher paper 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we're doing the foundation paper 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. So slightly later today. Oli Glimo says, can we get into it, please? Yep, guys, let's get going. Questions number 1, 2, and 3 on the screen. Now, I am going to deliberately be a little bit lower energy in this first session because after last night's live stream, I was on the brink of losing my voice. I think because I'm going live so much and I'm also doing a lot of tutoring and that kind of stuff. I'm talking, and my voice is getting a little bit hoarse. So, if I'm going to be going live 4 hours today and 4 hours tomorrow, I need to be a little bit careful and protect my voice and not go too crazy on this early session. So, guys, 3 questions on the screen at the start. Questions 1, 2, 3. Let me turn the volume of my feed down a little bit. Oh, there we go. Let me put this on mute as well. Beautiful. Guys, drop the answer in the chat when you're ready. I'm going to be taking this one a little bit more chilled out. I'm probably going to be going up, down, because normally I'm very high energy on the stream, so I need to get used to not being so high energy. Quite a few people are saying, is this still going to be beneficial if I do EdXL? Definitely, it's still going to be beneficial. We are doing 2 EdXL papers tomorrow. Quite a few people dropping an answer in the chat. Maxi Boy thinks it's 1/8. Suffy thinks it's 1/8. Guys, if you said 1/8, congratulations. You, not 1/8, 1/80 is what I meant to say. Congratulations, you are correct. Now, guys, why is it 1/80? To convert this percentage into a fraction, we can simply type in 1.25 divided by 100. That is going to convert it into a fraction, guys, and it's going to give us 1/80. So we do 1.25 out of 100, and that calculator is going to do that for us. It's going to give us 1 over 80. I didn't mean to say 1 over 8, which I said very quickly before. I was just a bit distracted, but yeah, 1 over 80. Nice, Maria. Good to have you. A lot of the regulars on here. Sandra R says paper download for Edexcel. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you mean the paper for tomorrow, I'm actually still, well, I haven't decided yet which one we're going to do. Guys, question number 2. What's this one going to be? Drop in the chat for me, A, B, C, or D. The question says, circle the expression that means the probability of A and not B. Which one's it going to be, guys? Sophie thinks it's the last one. Maria thinks it's C. That's not the YouTube Maria, that's TikTok Maria. Amna thinks B, guys. What's it going to be? Circle the expression that means the probability of A and not B. Guys, it's going to be our option D. Now, why is it this one? If we look at this, let's break it down. Here we have the probability of A. The N shape here means and then B apostrophe means not B. So if we go through these one by one, this one would be not A or B. This one would be A or not B. This one would be not A and B. And this one's the one we want. This is A and not B. So the U shape means union, it means or, and the N shape means and, it means intersect. Question 3, guys, which one's a triangular number, A, B, C, or D? And I actually think this is going to trip quite a few people up. What are our triangular numbers? Charlotte26, hello. Thank you very much for the nice comment yesterday. I did see it. I didn't have a chance to respond yet. But yeah, thank you very much. I appreciated that a lot. Quite a few people, Ikra with a K, for example, saying that it is 15. Guys, the answer to question 3 is, in fact, 15. Now, what are our triangular numbers? Our triangular numbers are our numbers which we can make triangles with when we do those dots. So our first 3 triangular numbers would be 1, let me write that in, 1, 3, 5. How do we find our triangular numbers, guys? Not 5, 6. How do we find our triangular numbers, guys? Well, we add 2, then we add 3, then we add 4, then we add 5. So here, let me write it a bit clearer. So going from 1 to 3, we add 2. From 3 to 6, we add 3. To find our next one, we would add 4. That's going to give us 10. Next one, we're going to add 5. That is going to take us to 15. Our next triangular number, we would add 6, then add 7, and so on and so forth. I know a lot of you guys won't have known what triangular numbers were there, so hopefully that helps to clear things up. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot page number 1, and we're going to move on to question number 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on now to questions number 4 and 5. For question number 4, drop your answer in the chat again for me, guys. We have 4 options, A, B, C, and D. Quite a few people are asking whether this is just for AQA. We are doing an AQA paper. I'm actually doing 2 AQA papers today. We're doing the higher one, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., the foundation one, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's the plan, at least. It depends kind of on how many people join this session. And then we're going to be doing Edexcel papers tomorrow. The AQA ones are still very beneficial if you're doing Edexcel because they're very, very similar. So feel free to stick around for today as well. They're still going to be very, very helpful. Okay, guys, let's have a look. Question number 4. What's it going to be? Most people dropping in the chat option C. Quite a few people dropping option B as well. What's it going to be? The question says, circle the inequality represented by the diagram. We have a hollow circle above our -5, a filled-in circle above our 1, and a line connecting them. This, guys, is going to be the inequality that -5 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 1. So what's it going to be, guys? It's going to be option B. It's going to be option B. Why is this, guys? This is because when we don't have a filled-in circle, we don't have the or equal to, and when we do have a filled-in circle, we do have the or equal to. I like to think of this as when we have more ink on the page with the filled-in dot, we have more ink on the page with the extra line under the inequality, and less ink goes with less ink. So guys, that's why our answer to this one is option B. Nicely done, Ashton on the YouTube. Oppo, nicely done. Ghostly Orc, nicely done. Aid, nicely done. You guys are doing bits. Good work. Question number 5, guys. Let's have a look at this one. It says solve 5 brackets 2x minus 1 equals 6x plus 9. A little bit more work for this one, so I'll give you a little bit more time, and then we're going to go through the answer. Drop your answer in the chat when you do have one. This is where we start to get a little bit longer, requiring a little bit more working out. For anybody who doesn't know, by the way, we're currently live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. We've got 205 people on the TikTok. We've got 17 people on the YouTube, and I do look mainly at the YouTube chat. So if you want to come over there, it's going to be good. The chat's always popping off over there as well, and the community is great. So yeah, feel free to come over. Guys, question number 5. Let's have a look at this one. Quite a few people think that it's 3.5. Let's have a look. The question says, solve 5 times by 2x minus 1 equals 6x plus 9. Step number 1, guys, we're going to expand these brackets. So we're going to do our outside number times by our first number. 5 times 2x is 10x. Then we're going to do our outside number times by our second number. We get 10x minus 5 equals 6x plus 9. Next step, guys, we're going to move all of our x's to the left-hand side and all of our numbers to the right-hand side in this case. Firstly, we're going to minus 6x from both sides to get rid of the x's on the right-hand side. We get 4x minus 5 equals 9. Then to get the x on its own, we're going to move this 5 over. So we're going to add 5 to both sides because adding 5 is going to cancel out the minus 5. We're going to get 4x equals 14. Final step, guys, at the moment, our x is being multiplied by 4. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. We're going to get x equals 14 over 4. Also known as 7 over 2, also known as 3.5. Guys, if you got that one, superb work. I think this is a topic which is very likely to come up for Edexcel and for AQA in paper 2 and or 3. Super, super common topic. So if you didn't really understand that one, consider having a revise. That's called expanding brackets and also solving linear equations. Expanding brackets and solving linear equations. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to move on to questions number 6 and 7. 5 marks up for grabs here, guys. 5 marks up for grabs. We're going to go through question 6. I'll give you a little bit more time, and then through question 7. A few people asking what paper this is. This is the AQA, June 2022. Paper 2, higher tier. Seth says, will you ever do Edexcel higher paper 3? Yep, as soon as we're out of the way with paper 2, we're going to get cracking with paper 3. So all of next week, I'm going to be live every day, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Maybe apart from Tuesday. On Monday, I'm going to do a little bit of a chilled live to see how you guys got on. But yeah, we'll definitely be prepping for paper 3. Donna says, it's finished. Maths is finished. I'm not sure what you mean by that one. GCSE maths definitely isn't finished. And guys, just for anybody who's new, please don't spam the chat, otherwise you will get muted or blocked if you put anything stupid in the chat. Question number 6, guys. What do we reckon for this one? Let me know when you guys are ready. Drop ready in the chat and we'll talk about it. There's quite a bit of problem solving involved in this one. Unknown is ready. GCSE's 2024, you can definitely do it that way. MB's ready. Guys, let's have a look at question number 6. This says, show that 2,125 can be written as a cube number multiplied by a prime number between 10 and 20. We could either first off find a prime number and use that one, or we could start off by finding a cube number. I'm going to look at this 2,125, and I know that the first few cube numbers are going to be 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1, and then go up 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, 3 times 3 times 3, which is 20, 27, 4 times 4 times 4, which is going to be 64, etc., etc. And we know that 125 is a cube number because 5 cubed is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. And it's likely that 125 is going to go into this number. Why? Because it ends in a 125. So we're going to take a guess and we're going to say, okay, does 125 go into 2,125? The way that we're going to check it is we're going to do 2,125 divided by 125. I'm going to type that into my calculator, guys. 2,125 divided by 125, and we get 17. Now, if this is the right number to be working with, then 17 should be a prime number. Is 17 prime? Yes, it is, because the only two factors of 17 are 1 and 17. So we can write 2,125 as 17 times by 125. So we've got our answer, guys, because here we have a prime number multiplied by a cube number, giving us 2,125. So that one, guys, is pretty much a problem-solving question. A little bit of trial and error involved. Moving on now, guys, to question number 7. 3 marks up for grabs in this one. It's been on the page for a while. So I'm going to ask you to drop ready in the chat when you're ready. Nice to see that we're up to 26 of us on the YouTube. We have 200 of us on the TikTok. Guys, if you haven't already, consider checking out the YouTube channel. All of the live streams are uploaded straight to the YouTube channel, and I'm actually live on both at the same time. So there's 2 separate chats. Rid is ready. White Love Heart is ready. Quite a few people are ready for this one. Guys, let's have a look at question number 7. This one says that Sam types a constant number of words per minute. He takes 8 minutes to type a report of 416 words. How long does it take him to type an essay of 1,534 words? Now, technically, guys, this is going to be our direct proportion question. We need to work out how many times we're typing this 416 words. So how many times bigger, in other words, is 1,534 than 416? Then we can times our amount of time by that. So we're going to start off by doing 1,534 divided by 416. We type that into our calculator, 1,534 divided by 416, and we get a nasty decimal, or we could just leave it as a fraction. The decimal's not too bad, actually, 3.6875. So we're writing 3.6875 times as many words. So it's going to take 3.6875 times as long. So we can do our 3.6875 times by the 8 minutes that it takes to write 416 words. So we times that number by 8, guys. And when we do so, we get 29.5 minutes. We see that we need to give our answer in minutes and seconds. So we're going to have 29 minutes and 30 seconds, because there are 60 seconds in a minute, so 0.5 of a minute is going to be 30 seconds. Nicely done, Ashton. Nicely done, Samaya. Nice to see a bunch of the regulars coming in on the YouTube as well. We've got Charlotte26, we've got we've got Iced Coffee, we've got a lot of the regulars. Okay, guys, we're going to move on now to question number 8. Quite a good question here. Another very, very general topic, which is quite likely to come up in papers 2 and or 3. That's for AQA and for Edexcel. I'm going to try to rest my voice a little bit, guys. Normally, when I'm on these live streams, I'm talking. But because I'm going to be live for 8 hours in total over this weekend, I'm going to have to be a little bit careful not to lose my voice. Eva says, hello, Eva. Hennes says, can you go back a slide for a screenshot? Yep, definitely, mate, definitely. I'll go back after this question. Mr. Everything English Edits. What a proxy account that is. That's cool, doing like an edits account of a popular study tuber. Mr. Everything English. I don't know him. I've never spoken to him, but his channel seems pretty good, to be honest. Nasir, good to have you. Salin's good to have you. I wonder if anybody's going to do a My GCSE Maths Edits account. I think, to be fair, his platform's quite a lot bigger than mine. I think he has like hundreds of thousands of followers or something. So, yeah, he makes good content as far as I can see. Ellie Bruff says, Mr. Bruff, that he was the GOAT back in my day. Mr. Bruff's been doing it for a long time, and he made some great content. Maria said, Edexcel live tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow I'm going to be going live twice. 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Just like today, I'm going to be doing a higher Edexcel paper in the first session and a foundation Edexcel paper in the second session. Guys, question number 8. This one's been on the screen for a little bit of time. Let's have a look. What's it going to be? This question says a school play takes place each day from Monday to Friday. Here are the attendances on 4 of the days. For all 5 days, the mean attendance is 90. Work out the attendance on Friday. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to set up an equation, and then we're going to rearrange and solve that equation. What's the equation going to be? Well, how in theory would we find the mean attendance of all 5 days? We would add together all of our values. So we can add together the number on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then we're going to add in an X for the number of people on Friday because we don't know that at the moment. And then how do we find the mean? We divide by the number of numbers. Here we have 5 numbers because we have 5 days, and we know that this is going to be equal to 90 because the mean is 90. Now, guys, we have an equation which we can rearrange and solve. Firstly, we're going to multiply both sides of our equation by 5, and I'm also going to simplify this, adding together these numbers here. So we can do 72 plus 83 plus 88 plus 97. We add those together, we get 340. So this is going to turn into 340 plus x equals 90 times by 5 is 450. Then we can find the value of x by subtracting 340 from both sides. We're going to get that x is equal to 110, giving us our answer, guys, that the attendance on Friday has to be 110. Nicely done, OP0. Nicely done, Yams. Superb work on the YouTube, guys. What about on the TikTok? Did anybody get that one? Let's see. GCSEs 2024 did. Good work. Oppo said, is it okay to just do trial and error? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You could definitely do it. If it said show how you get it, then you can't, unfortunately, use trial and error. But here, trial and error would be okay. Hey, that must have taken you a while, actually. That must have taken you a while. Maybe not, actually, if you just jumped in values. Good work, though. Okay, guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Also 5 seconds to screenshot that previous page because I know quite a few people were asking for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on, guys, to question number 9. 3 marks up for grabs here. Let's see what we can do. Guys, also, let me know. I'm pretty sure the answer is to keep it the same size, but I just had a thought. I could make myself bigger in the corner of the screen. I don't know if that's a good idea because I don't know if on people's phones the comment section is blocking me out or if it's at the side. So let me know in the chat now, guys. 250 people on the... Actually, I'll set up a poll for this. Can I set up a poll? Yeah, I will. So, guys, the question is, should I be bigger or keep it the same size? Because I don't know what it looks like on your phones because I'm on a computer. I'm guessing it's going to be same size because when I set it up initially, it looked pretty good. Let's see. Make me bigger. Shall we do that? Keep it the same size. I'm pretty sure, guys, it's going to be best to keep it the same size because I don't want it to be distracting. But, guys, everybody, there's 250 of us on the TikTok at the moment. Can you please go to the blue clipboard in the top left-hand side and click on it and have a vote? I'm guessing the current size is probably pretty good, but I can make myself bigger. I don't want it to be distracting, though. OG Beats said, I'm watching your videos right now because I'm writing my exam tomorrow. Hey, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Hopefully they're helping. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave that poll on the screen while I go through this question, and then I will answer it just afterwards. A said current size is good. Thank you, A. Guys, question number 9. Let's have a look at this one. The question says that Rosie makes phone calls to try to sell broadband. Today she made 120 calls. The table shows her results. Write down the relative frequency that a call was not answered. Guys, to work out our relative frequency, what we do is we do the number of, or the frequency in the category that we want, so the not answered category, over or divided by the total frequency. So here the frequency in the not answered group is going to be 33. The total frequency is 120 because we have 120 calls, and that gives us 33 over 120 as our answer. We could simplify it if we want to. The simplest version is going to be 11 over 40, but we don't have to simplify that because the question doesn't ask us to. Part 9b then, guys, it says during the rest of the week, Rosie will make 500 calls. Using the results in the table, how many sales does she expect to make during the rest of the week? So, how many sales does she expect to make during the rest of the week? Well, how many sales did she make in the initial part? She made 6 sales in total, out of how many? 120. So we would estimate that the probability of making a sale is 6 out of 120. So that's the relative frequency of making a sale. And then we're going to multiply that by the total number of calls that we make, which is 500. So we multiply the probability of getting a sale, also known as the relative frequency of getting a sale, by the number of potential times we could get a sale. 6 over 120 times by 500. Guys, it's going to be 25. So we would expect to make 25 sales. Guys, if you got that one, great work. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 10. Quite a lot of legwork in this one, to be honest, for 2 marks. So don't think if you're doing a lot of working out that you're doing it the wrong way. Thank you to all of the 69 or 59 people who voted. 15% said make it bigger. 84% said keep it the same size. Thank you very much, guys. Great feedback there. And this one is question number 10. I'm not going to give you too long for this. A said, can you put it in a ratio and work it out like that? Was that for the previous question? I'm guessing you mean for the current question. You could use ratios. Oh, for the last question. You could use ratios. If you got the same answer, then your method was definitely okay. But I would probably stick to the method that I used just because it's going to be the quickest by far. Question number 10, guys. Should we have a look at this one? Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for me, and we'll have a look. Radley FV said, I literally did these questions earlier in Foundation. Yep, this is the overlap portion of the course. Juan is ready. Love Heart Hands is ready. Sukana is ready. Awesome. Guys, let's have a look at question number 10. This one says that Harry and Ellie each bought a printer and a hard drive. Here's some information about how much they paid. Ellie says, in total, I paid more than Harry because 20% is greater than 10%. Is she correct? Tick a box. Show calculations. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to work out the total amount that Ellie paid. We know that, and also how much Harry paid, and work out which one is greater. We can work out pretty quickly that the total amount that Harry paid is going to be 80 plus 25, which is 105. And now we're going to find the total amount that Ellie paid. We know for the printer, she paid 10% less than Harry. What we can do is we can do £80 times by 0.9, and that is going to give us £72. That's the quickest way to do it, guys. You could have also found 10% by timesing by 0.1 or dividing by 10. That would have given you 8, and then done 80 minus 8. You're going to get the same answer. So either way is going to be fine. What about in the case of the hard drive? Well, we know that she pays 20% more than Harry for the hard drive. So to work out the price she paid, we're going to do Harry's £25 times by 20% more. So the percentage multiplier is going to be 1.2. 25 times 1.2, that's going to be 30, I think. Let me just check on the calculator. 25 times 1.2, yeah, we get 30. So the total amount she pays, what's it going to be? The total is going to be £102, which is those two added together. Guys, of course, use your calculator for all of this stuff. So, does she pay more than Harry? No, she doesn't. She pays 102, and Harry pays 105. This is a calculator paper, guys. I just did it in my head for speed, but you guys definitely use a calculator. Definitely use a calculator. You could have found 10% and taken it away, and then found 20% and added it on. Either way, guys, you are going to be completely cool. You'll get the same numbers. This is just the quickest way to do it with the percentage multipliers. Could have done it either way. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 10. Here we have a 5-mark question. Guys, have a look and see what you can do. Personally, I think this is a nice 5-mark question. Obviously, it's not easy, but a lot of you guys will be able to pick up 5 out of 5 on this one. Have a look and see what you can do. Guys, as well, if you haven't already, consider hitting the follow button in the top. I go live every day, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. normally. Today, a little bit different times, and tomorrow different times as well, because we have our paper ones on Monday. Vishal said, all you need is Pythagoras. True. Arda says 2008. A said, for hard drive, I accidentally did 2/10 of 80 instead of 25. Easy mistake to make. Just about reading the question carefully there, guys. Honey Overload says, this is a 5-mark question. Yeah, 5-mark question. Another 30 seconds or so, guys. Ellie Bruff says, this one's tough. This is going to divide opinion very much. Hopefully, though, guys, everybody is going to be able to understand this after I go through it. Because this is definitely one where you can make some big progress. GCSEs 2024 says Pythagoras. Yep. BXX said, so what's going on? I'm confused. Guys, are we ready? Drop ready in the chat. And we will go through it. Somebody says cosine plus Pythagoras. No cosine here, luckily. Anybody ready? Love Heart Hands is ready. Anybody else ready? Saliz is ready. And Tony Hurlig is ready. Jasmine's ready. Guys, let's have a look at question number 11. This one says, a shape is made by joining a right angle triangle to a rectangle. We're asked to work out the area of the shape. Guys, we know to work out the area of a rectangle, we do base times by height, but at the moment we don't have the base. It's going to be this side length here. However, we see that this is actually going to be the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. So we can use Pythagoras' theorem to work out this side length here. What does Pythagoras' theorem tell us? It tells us that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are the two non-hypotenuse sides, and c is our hypotenuse. The hypotenuse, guys, is opposite the right angle. We can substitute in the 30 and the 16, so we have 30 squared plus 16 squared equals c squared. We can bring that into our calculator, 30 squared plus 16 squared. That, guys, is going to be 1156 equals c squared. Now to find the value of c, we can do that c is equal to the square root of 1156. Guys, the square root of 1156 is going to give us 34. We now have this side length here of 34. To work out the overall area of the shape then, we're going to work out the area of the rectangle. So we're going to do base times by height. We're going to do, where shall I write it? Let's do, for the rectangle, we have base times by height, which is going to be 34 times by 52. 34 times by 52, guys, that's going to give us 1,768. Now, what about the triangle? To work out the area of a triangle, guys, we can do a half times by base times by perpendicular height. It looks a little bit weird here, guys, but we can actually say that the base and the height for this triangle are going to be the 16 and the 30. If we imagine this being the base of the triangle, then this side length would give us the vertical height. We know that they're perpendicular because it's a right angle. That's why we can do that. We can do a half times by 16 times by 30, which I'm pretty sure is going to be 240. Let me just check that on my calculator, guys. 0.5 times 16 times 30. Yep, 240. Now to work out the total area, guys, we're going to do our 240 plus our 2768. Let's type that into the calculator. 240 plus 2768, and we're going to get 1768, guys, not 2768. 1768. We type that into our calculator, and we're going to get 240 plus 1768. We're going to get 2008. So I just wrote the wrong number down there, guys. It should have been a 1. So, yeah, nicely done. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Ollie. 2008, guys, that is going to be our answer. Charlotte26 says, you wouldn't use half AB sine C, would you? That's actually a very good question. Charlotte, you could have done half AB sine C. It would have just been a little bit kind of more complicated. You could have done a half times 16 times 30 times sine 90, and that would have given you exactly the same thing. Sine 90 would have gone to 1, and then you would have just had the same thing, and you would have got the same answer. So both are okay there. Both are okay. You wouldn't tend to use half AB sine C with a right angle triangle, but it does work anyway, so you wouldn't have lost any marks or got it wrong if you didn't do it. Hey, Lils, good to have you on. Nice to see you again, or have you again, I should say. Okay, guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to move on to question number 12. This one, guys, is actually a topic which comes up all the time. Normally, it's worth a few more marks. I think there's another question maybe in this paper, maybe, which is a similar topic. See if you can get this one, guys. What do we think? We have A, B, C, and D as our options. Drop your answer in the chat, guys. Is it A, B, C, or D? What do we think? Glory thinks it's C. A couple of people saying B, a couple of people saying A. Okay, the most popular answer is A. Guys, let's have a look at this one. The question says that 4y equals 5x. Which statement is correct? The best way to do these questions, guys, the best way is to make one of our letters the subject and see what we can say based on that. So at the moment, we have 4y equals 5x. To make y the subject, we're going to divide both sides by 4. We're going to get that y equals 5 over 4x. Y equals 5 over 4x. Now, 5 over 4, that's currently a fraction. We could write it as a decimal. We will get y equals 1.25x. And from there, it's a lot easier to see that our answer is going to be B. Why? Because y is 1.25 times by x, and 1.25 as a percentage is 125%. So the best way to think about these questions, guys, instead of trying to do them super quickly, is to rearrange it to make one of your variables the subject, and then to deduce it from that. Kitty Lover said, yay, I just guessed. 1 in 4 chance. That's pretty good. Brenda says, is this calculator? Yep, this is a calculator paper. Nicely done to anybody who got that one. Pretty tricky question there, to be honest, for a 1 marker. 5 seconds to screenshot, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 13, a 4 marker here. And this again, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say is a pretty nice 4 marker. Obviously, you guys can be the judges of that. Quite a few people asking my GCSE maths results and A-level results and all that kind of thing. I got a 9 in GCSE maths, and then I got an A-star in A-level maths and an A-star in A-level further maths. Lils says, quick question, is foundation on tonight? Yep, Lils, it is. So I'm going to be doing a foundation paper from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I just need to make sure that my voice is okay. And guys, look for an announcement before 6 o'clock. There's a chance that I might delay the start a little bit, just depending on if I need to, have a little bit more time off, because I'm giving myself an hour between the sessions. I might need to rest my voice a little bit longer, drink a bit more water. So there's a chance I'll push it back a bit. But yeah, we are on for 6 till 8. Charlotte26 says, do you find separate volumes and add them or multiply? If you think about it, you have the cone and you have the hemisphere. So you're going to do the hemisphere and add it to the cone. Okay, guys, let's have a look at this one. Doesn't actually take too long. Nafila Fatima said, I'm craving ice cream after seeing this question. Now I'm craving ice cream after seeing your comment. Question 13, let's have a look. It says, outside a cafe, there is a large plastic ice cream cornet. I used to love cornets back in the day, the mint ones. The cornet is a hemisphere on top of a cone. The cone and the hemisphere each have a radius of 24 centimeters. The cone has a perpendicular height of 117. We're given a formula for the volume of a cone and the formula for the volume of a hemisphere. Work out the volume of the cornet. Guys, all that we're going to have to do is plug in our height and our radius to both of our formulas, and that's going to allow us to find our total volume. So we're going to find the volume of the cone. It's going to be 1 over 3 times pi times by the radius, which is 24 squared, times by the height, which is 117, and we're going to add to that the volume of the hemisphere, which is going to be 2 over 3 times by pi times by our radius, which is 24 cubed. Now, in many GCSE maths questions, they're going to give you the formula for the volume of a sphere, and then you have to halve it. But in this case, they actually already give you the hemisphere, so you don't have to halve it. Guys, we're going to bing this into our calculator. Give me 20 seconds for that. 1 over 3 times pi times 24 squared times 117 plus 2 over 3 times pi times 24 to the power of 3. Guys, we bing that into our calculator and we get 31,680 pi. If we want to, we could write it as a decimal, but they don't ask us to here, guys, so we can just leave it in terms of pi. Either one is going to be completely fine. Total volume is going to be 3,168 pi. Guys, moving on now. Actually, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 13b. This, guys, is a very good question. Questions like this are getting more and more popular in exams. What is that as a decimal, says Oppo. Luckily, I've still got it on my calculator. It's 99,525.65527. G says the answer is 31,680 pi. Yep, that is exactly right. You could write it as a decimal if you want to. It would have been 99,525.65527. So that's what it would have been as a decimal. $13B, guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. A said, can you show us the formula again, please? Let me know which one you want, and I'll just tell you so I don't have to go back to it. Shashan said, I did this paper 2006. Let's go. Maybe not in 2006. Arthur's ready for this one. Sorry if you got muted yesterday and didn't think you were putting anything dodgy in the chat. We do have a if in doubt mute policy. Yeah. And obviously you guys can have fun in the chat, but you know, we have to keep good energy and everything. GCSE's 2024 is ready. Leia's ready. We ready for this one? Guys, let's have a look. Question 13. This one says the actual cornets that the cafe sell are similar to the plastic ones. For the actual cornets, the cone and the hemisphere each have a radius of 2. Work out how many times greater the volume of the plastic cornet is than the actual cornet. Okay, guys, you would have actually needed the previous page to work this out. On the previous page, we had... Actually, I'll go back because a couple of people wanted to screenshot it anyway. On the previous cone, we had the previous cone, yeah, we had a radius of 24. So the radius... So the radius has gone from 24 to 2. So the radius has gone from 24 to 2, guys. What does that mean? And it's how many times greater is the volume of the plastic cornet. So we'll do the old volume divided by the new. So we can say that the scale factor in lengths, because radiuses are lengths, is 24 over 2, which is equal to 12. So we have our scale factor in lengths. We do our lengths of our bigger one divided by our length of our smaller one. So 24 over 2, which is 12. Then, guys, to go from our scale factor in lengths to our scale factor in volumes, we're going to do our scale factor in lengths cubed. So we're going to do 12 times 12 times 12. 12 to the power of 3, guys. That's 1,728, and that is going to be our answer to this one. 1,728 to go from the scale factor in lengths to the scale factor in volumes. We have to cube the scale factor in lengths. To go from the scale factor in lengths to the scale factor in areas, we have to square the scale factor. So that is from scale factor in lengths to scale factor in volumes, we have to cube, and to go from scale factor in lengths to scale factor in areas, we have to square. 5 seconds to screenshot this page, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 14. I think maybe... Oh, no, that's okay. Yep, 14. 3 marks up for grabs in this one, guys. Let's see. I'm going to look at the chat for the first time in a while. I've not really been checking it too much. Let's see. Lil said, I was literally doing volumes of cones and hemispheres maths watch video yesterday. What a coincidence. Yeah, revised in the right topics. A said AQA being nice because that for 4 marks is good. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that one. Hopefully, A, you got time to screenshot the formulas that time. Hey, Charlotte 26, I thought you were doing your GCSEs now. It's cool that you're in year 10. Seth said, I'm going to tune in for the next week then. Yeah, awesome. I think I'm actually going to be continuing with the live streams throughout the year this time. So this academic year, I was super busy filming all the videos that are going up on the TikTok now. And then I've kind of moved into live stream time. Next academic year, I'm going to be probably posting less videos and doing more live streams. So I'm going to try and figure out the best way to do it. I think I'm also going to be launching my A-level maths next year, just as a TikTok account. That should be fun. I might even do I've thought about this today. I could do I could do a bunch of them. Leia said, do you teach A-levels? Yep, I do tutor for A-levels. Guys, are we ready for this one? This one's been on the screen for a while. I'm going to give you 5 seconds more, and then I'm going to go through them. Okay, a couple of people saying, let's do this one. Let's get it done. Guys, question 14 says, a survey was held in a football stadium. A sample of the crowd was asked about the importance of a family area. The pie chart represents the answers. This is going to be the sample. It says the total number of people in the crowd was 29,250. Estimate how many people in the crowd think that a family area is very important. Guys, what we're going to do is we're going to find what share of the people in the sample said very important, and we're going to multiply that by our overall number of people. So what share said it was very important? Well, we had 1,475 who said very important. Out of how many in total? We're going to do 1,475 plus our 400 plus our 375. We add those together, guys. 1,475 plus 400 plus 375. We see that 2,250 people were in the sample in total. We times that by the total number of people in the crowd. So we do 1,475 out of 2,250. That was the share of the sample that said very important. Times by 29,250, the total number of people in the crowd. We get 19,175 as our answer. Guys, if you got that one, superb work. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to 14B. This one, I'm just going to go through straight away. I might also go through 15 straight away, because I know this is probably going to wind up a lot of people. Let's have a look. Question 14B. It says, in fact, actually, 50% of the sample was sitting in the family area, and 10% of the crowd were sitting in the family area. What is this likely to mean about the actual number of people in the crowd who think that the family area is very important? Guys, put your votes in the chat. A, B, and C. What do we think is the answer to this one? A, B, or C? Is the actual number of people going to be higher or lower? Holly says C. Bella says C. Oppo says C. GCSEs 2024 says C. Loveheart says C. Bo Loveheart says C. EF Barnsey says C. Guys, if you said C, you are exactly right. It is lower than the answer to part A. Basically, what they want us to see is that in the sample, we overestimated the number of people who were interested in the area. So if 50% of the sample were sitting there, but actually only 10% of the crowd, it implies that a lower proportion than we expect would be interested in the family area. Therefore, it's lower than in part A. Guys, question 15. This one says in the grid, the product of each row, column, and diagonal is 1. Complete the grid. Leia said, do you have a YouTube channel? Yep, I do. I'm actually live on YouTube right now at the same time as being on TikTok. It's just my GCSE maths. The link is in my bio. Oppo says, bro, it's Sudoku. Yeah, this one is pretty much Sudoku. Thank you, GCSEs 2024. Guys, let's have a look at this one. In the grid, the product of each row, column, and diagonal is 1. Complete the grid. So when we multiply each of the numbers in a row, it has to overall multiply to give 1. So we can start off by filling this square here in. We know that 1 over 4 times 4 times this is 1. Well, 1 over 4 times by 4 is already 1, so this is just going to be 1. Where can we go from there? Well, we know that the diagonals at times to give 1 as well. We have 1 over 8 times 1, which gives us 1 over 8. Then this is going to have to be 8 to get the total up to 1, because 1 over 8 times by 8 is 1. Where can we go from there, guys? We can fill in this gap down here. 4 times by 1 over 8 is 4 over 8. We're going to have to times that by 2 to get a total of 1. Next up, we can fill this gap here in. 8 times by 2 is 16. So for these 3 to times to give 16, this is going to have to be 1 over 16. 1 over 16 times 1 is 1 over 16. So this one is going to have to be 16, because 16 times 1 over 16 is going to give us 1. What about up here, guys? 8 times by 1 over 4 is going to be 2. So we're going to have to times it by a half to get the total to 1. And if that's correct, then this one should also multiply to give 1. 1 over 2 times 16 is 8. Times 1 over 8 gives us 1. Guys, we must have gotten this one right. 5 seconds to screenshot. We're not going to spend too long on that one because it's a little bit of a weird question. 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 16. We have part A and part B here. 5 marks up for grabs in total. I don't know why the iPad's playing up a little bit. There we go. Oh, I'm going to take a little bit of a stretch. Ooh. Mill said, what topic is that? That's actually not a particular topic. It's just kind of a problem-solving question. It's technically arithmetic, but don't worry too much about revising that one, I would say, because that's actually the only time I've ever seen a question like that. It's very niche. It's very niche. Question 16, A and B. Let's have a look at part A. Only 1 mark up for grabs here. This one says that Amol owns a sandwich shop. The shop is open from Monday to Saturday. In June, Amol sold 3,000 sandwiches. Amol wants to work out the mean number of sandwiches sold per day in June. His method is 3,000 divided by 30, because there are 30 days in June, equals 100. Make one criticism of Amol's method. Guys, let me know in the chat, what would be a criticism? What would be a criticism? Anybody know in the chat? Or are we quiet for this one? Amelie says, no Sundays. Yep, you are exactly right. So, Amol has included the Sundays in that 30 days, but it's not open on Saturday. So Amol has included Sundays. We can just write it like that. A few different ways we could word this, but that is going to be okay. Guys, 16b. What about this one? Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. I know this has been on the screen for a while. Arrow says no Sundays. Love Heart Hand said he's not open 7 days a week. Random User said the same thing. Kev said the same thing. Nick said the same thing. Holly said the same thing. Guys, good job. Harry said the same thing. Well done to everybody who got that. GCSE's 2024 is ready for this one. Yams, nicely done as well. Love Heart is ready. Let's have a look, guys. Question 15b. Actually, to be fair, not many people said ready for that one, so I'll give you a little bit longer. Okay, Ava Louise is ready. Field is ready. Love Heart Hands is ready. Guys, let's have a look. Question 16b. This one says that Amol received £660 from selling the 3,000 sandwiches in June. The number of sandwiches sold were in the ratio meat to cheese to vegan, 9 to 4 to 7. The price of a meat sandwich is £2.39. The price of a cheese sandwich is £1.89. We're asked to work out the price of a vegan sandwich. Guys, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to start off by working out how many meat, cheese, and vegan sandwiches we sold. From there, we can work out the money made from the meat and the cheese ones, then the money made from the vegan ones, then divide that by how many vegan ones we sold to find the price of a vegan sandwich. So, first off, working out how many of each type of sandwich. We're going to work out our total number of parts in our ratio, 9 plus 4 plus 7. That is going to be 20, so we have 20 parts in total. Next up, how big is each of our parts? We're going to do our 3,000 sandwiches divided by our 20 parts. That is going to be 150, I think. 3,000 divided by 20. Yep, 150. And that is sandwiches per part. So, how many meat sandwiches did we sell? Well, each part is worth 150, and we have 9 parts meat sandwiches, so we do 9 times by 150. It's going to give us 1,350. What about our cheese sandwiches? Well, we have 4 parts cheese. Each part is worth 150. That is going to give us 600 cheese sandwiches. What about vegan? We're going to do 7 parts for the vegan. Times by 150, that is going to give us 1,050 vegan sandwiches. Guys, of course, use your calculator for that. Now, how much money did we generate from each of those types of sandwiches? Well, each meat one was £2.39. So for the meat, we're going to do £2.39 times by 1,350 sandwiches. We're going to add to that the amount that we made from the cheese sandwiches. So that is £1.89. times by 600 sandwiches. We can type that into our calculator, guys. Just going to move this over a little bit. So 2.39 times by 1,350 plus 1.89 times by 600. We type that into our calculators, guys, and when we do so, I typed it in wrong, I believe. Yep, I did. There we go. We get 4,360.5. 4,360.5. Where do we go from there? Well, we're going to work out the amount of money that we generated from our vegan sandwiches. So we're going to do our total amount of money, 660. 6660 minus the amount from the meat and the cheese sandwiches, minus 4,360 pound 50. So 6660 minus 4,360.5. We are going to get 2,299 pound 50. Where do we go from there, guys? That is the amount of money made from vegan sandwiches. We're now going to divide that by the total number of vegan sandwiches to work out the price of a vegan sandwich. We're going to do £2,299.50 divided by our 1,050 sandwiches divided by 1050. When we do so, guys, we're going to get £2.19 as our answer to this one. £2.19 as our answer to this one. Guys, talk to me in the chat. That one was long, right? I felt like I was in my own little world there. GCSE's 2024 says £2.19. Good work, good work. Charlotte26 said, why is there so many questions mentioning food? I'm going to be hungry after this. Yep. Nicely done, Amelie. Nicely done, AZ. Nicely done, C. Chris. Nicely done, Glory. Nicely done, Oppo. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to questions number 17 and 18. Drop your answer in the chat for this first one, guys. Question 17. We're going to have A, B, C, and D. What do we think? Quite a few people saying option D. Charlotte26 thinks D. Imani says D. Gina says D. Dot says D. Guys, if you said D, you are exactly right. There's not really too much to explain for this one, apart from the fact that it can't be a sphere, because that would be a circle. Can't be a cone, because that would be a circle. It also can't be a hemisphere, because that would be a circle. Cylinder, we can put on a cone could also look like that. Could also, and the hemisphere could also look like that. But in the case of the cylinder, if we put it on its side, guys, like if you imagine a Pringles tube, put it on its side and look down from the top, it's going to look like a rectangle. Guys, 18, let's have a look at this one. It says solve x squared plus 7x minus 11 equals 0. Give your solutions as a decimal. Nick said use quadratic formula for 18 since it said decimals. Nick, you are exactly right. Oppo said Pringles tubes are circle. Yep, but if you look at it from the side, it would be, if you like put it on its side and look down from the top, right? If you have it on its side, it would be a rectangle. Jogo says quadratic formula. Ah, nice, Oppo, nice. Another 30 seconds for this one, guys. Oh, that's nice, see, Chris. Quite a few people saying quadratic formula. You guys are exactly right. So, this, guys, is a quadratic equation because we have this x squared, and there are going to be 3 ways to solve a quadratic. We have factorizing, we have the quadratic formula, and we have completing the square. We factorize whenever we can. We only complete the square, to be honest, if they ask us to. And we use the quadratic formula whenever we can't factorize. Now, because this one says give your solutions as decimals, that is a hint that we're not going to be able to factorize. We're going to have to use the quadratic formula. What does the quadratic formula tell us, guys? It tells us that the solutions to a quadratic are given by minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, where a is the number next to the x squared. So here a is going to be equal to 1 because we have an imaginary 1 next to the x squared. B is the number next to the x, so here b is 7. And c is the number on the end, so here it's minus 11. We have to be careful to make sure that we include the minuses when we choose our a, b, and c. How do we find it then, guys? What we have to do is we have to plug all of these into our formula. Do it once with a plus here and once with a minus here, and we're going to get 2 answers. So here we're going to have minus b, so minus 7 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 7 squared minus 4 times a times c. So 4 times 1 times minus 11 all over 2a, so 2 times by 1. Guys, I'm going to get my calculator. I'm going to click the fraction button. I'm going to do minus 7 plus the square root of 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 11 over 2 times 1. I type that into my calculator, guys. Let me have a very quick look. There we go. I convert it into a decimal, and when we do it with the plus, guys, what do we get? We get 1.321 ... Giving you guys a quick close-up for what I typed in there. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to leave it up there for a couple of seconds. Hopefully that's clear enough and it's not reflected. So that's once with the plus. So we have a plus outside the square root. And then, guys, I'm going to type it in with a minus there in front of the square root. So I'm going to click over and just go to the plus, which is in front of the brackets, turn it into a minus, type it in again, turn it into a decimal, do it with the minus, and we're going to get minus 8.321, etc. And we can round these both to 1 dp if we want to. We have 1.3 and minus 8.3. So they're going to be our two answers, guys. We can see that it says give your solutions as decimals. That's because we have two answers, either x equals 1.3 or x equals minus 8.3. So those are going to be our two answers to this one. Let's see. It's Owen said, thanks for having watching the wrong thing. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you're doing foundation, yeah. And we are now actually, quite a few of the questions, is this? Almost all of the questions we've done, mate, can come up in foundation. Maybe all of them. I think every single question we've done so far is foundation, apart from this one, actually. So you just realized at the perfect moment. You joined at the perfect moment. But yeah, foundation paper, guys, we're going to be doing 6 till 8. Yeah, you should be able to just see it there. A said, does it matter if you don't round? Nope, you're completely okay if you don't round. It does just say give your answers as decimals, so they're not going to mind if you round or not. Oppo said it's backwards. Yeah, sorry about that. Imani said, do you have to put both answers? Yes, you do. Okay, guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 19. I would say this is a pretty annoying question, guys. Pretty annoying question. It's kind of just a problem-solving question, a graphical problem-solving question. So yeah, give it your best shot, see what you can do, and if you don't get it, make sure you listen carefully to the explanation. A said the YouTube's quiet today. Yeah, exactly. I think it's because we're doing it a little bit earlier than normal, and maybe not everybody would have got the message. Or maybe, to be fair, it's not as good a time for people. Glory says, ooh la la, Glory. Hello, welcome. Gonna give you guys another minute or so for this one, and then I'm gonna go through it. B says, how was the last question the minus B formula if there was no A? Great question, B, superb question, and the answer is that there was an A. The A is just 1. So if you imagine x squared as 1x squared, AZ said, can this come up on AQA? Yep, this is actually in an AQA paper. Dot's ready. Holly said you use trig for this. You don't actually have to use trig for this. Guys, let's have a look at question 18, or 19, I should say. What's it going to be? Listen carefully if you don't currently understand it, because questions like this are getting actually more and more popular, and it's not too bad when you get it. Let's have a look. The question says that A, B, C, D, and E are points on a straight line. A, B, C, and D are equally spaced, and the ratio of A to D to E is 2 to 1, work out the coordinates of E. Guys, what we're going to do is we're going to use the fact that A, B, C, and D are equally spaced. What that means is that the way that we get from A to B is the same as how we get from B to C, and also how we get from C to D. How do we get from A to B? So when we go from A to B, so from A to B, what do we do? Well, in the X direction, we go from 5 across to 11 across. So we go 6 units to the right. And in the Y direction, we go from 26 up to 22 up. So we go 4 down. We did, guys, there, the change in Y and the change in X. In the X direction, we went from 5 to 11, which is plus 6. So we go 6 right. In the Y direction, 26 to 22. So we go 4 down. What that means is to get from B to C, what we're going to do is we're going to go 6 right and we're going to go 4 down. So we can say, so point B is going to be 6 to the right of, point C, I mean. So point C is going to be 6 units to the right of B. So we're going to do 11 plus 6. It's going to give us 17. And it's going to be 4 units down from B, which is 22. So we're going to do 22 minus 4, which is 18. So it's going to be 17, 18. 17, 18. Why? Because it's 6 units to the right and 4 units down. Now what about going to point C? Point D, I should say. And we can say point D is going to be, because that's also the same distance, 6 to the right of this, so it's going to be 23 across, because 17 plus 6 is 23, and 4 units down, so it's going to be 14 up, because we do 18, minus 4, which gives us 14. Now what about working out the coordinates of E? How do we get from point A to point D? Well, from A to D, what do we do? Let's have a look. So from A to D. Let me move this down a little bit just so it's a little bit clearer. That's not going to work. Actually, I'll keep it in the same place. So from A to D. In the X direction, we go from 5 to 23. We go from 5 to 23. So that's going to be an increase of 18. So we go 18 right. And in the Y direction, we go from 26 to 14. So that's 12 down. 12 down. A lot of people might be thinking we could have just multiplied this distance by 3 and you would be absolutely right. You'd be absolutely right because you have 1, 2, 3 of those movements, but you can do it the long way. It really doesn't matter. So from A to D is 18 right and 12 down. The ratio of A to D to E is 2 to 1, which means that the distance from A to D is double the distance from D to E. So we can say from D to E, we're going to halve those. We're going to go 9 right, and we're going to go 6 down. We're going to go 9 right, and we're going to go 6 down. The point D is 23, and the point D is 23, 14. We want to go 9 to the right, so to get the new X coordinate, we're going to add 9. 23 plus 9 is 32. To get the Y coordinate, we're going to go 6 down from here. 14 minus 6 is going to be 8, giving us our answer, guys, of 32, 8. To anybody who got that, superb work. That was a little bit of a tricky one, bit of a weird question there. Let's see. Nicely done, Amelie. Great work. Nicely done, Yams. Nicely done, Yams. Tricky question there. Matt B said, I love these ones. I've actually only seen 2 or 3 like this in past papers. Holly says, bro, I don't know if what's about to come is positive or negative. White Love Heart said, too much effort for 3 marks. I'd say fair enough to that. Guys, difficult question there. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 20. This is another pretty annoying question, to be honest. I'd say it's a little bit nicer than the last one, though. Another 4 marker. Chazen said, oh, I understand now. Oh, guys, as well, to anybody who's watching on the TikTok, I'm actually live on YouTube and TikTok at the same time right now. So if you want to come over, the YouTube is always popping off. We've got 26 people on at the moment on the YouTube, 280 others on the TikTok. Normally, we have about 45, 50 at a push on the YouTube, and everything is recorded over there and uploaded straight to the channel. You just have to go under the live tab and you can see all of the recordings for all of the lives over the past month. It will be now, or 3 weeks or something. A lot of people asking what the YouTube is. The YouTube is just my GCSE maths. You can also find the link in my bio. Okay, guys, question 20. Actually, I'll leave that on there. I think I should find some kind of way to advertise the YouTube a little bit more, maybe. Maybe where it currently says tomorrow, higher 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. and foundation 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Maybe going forwards, I should say, like, also live on YouTube. Check it out, something like that. I don't know. Boba Noss said, saw you on TikTok and came over here. Hey, that's good to hear. Hopefully we get a quick influx of a few people from the TikTok right now. That would be cool. Guys, if you do come over, let me know. Guys, 5 seconds for this one. Not 5 seconds for this one. What I meant to say was let me know when you're ready in the chat, guys. A said, I'm glad you moved from TT to YT and still go live on both. Yeah, definitely. Going forwards, I want to move everything to the channel. I think that would be cool. I like the way that everything's recorded and organized. Okay, Janashina's ready. GCSE's 2024 is ready. Holly says, wait. I'm going to wait a little bit more. Ashton Henderson came from the TT. Awesome. Good to have you. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the family. Ava Louise is ready as well. Guys, let's have a look. Mana Manu is ready. That's one of the best names. That's one of the best TikTok names, definitely. Question 20, guys. It says a company makes and sells boxes of washing powder. Washing powder comes in boxes of 1.68 kg and £5.60. The company wants to increase the amount of money it receives per kilogram of powder. To get the required increase, it can increase the price to £5.88 or reduce the mass of powder in the box by X%. We're asked to work out the value of X to 2 decimal places. So guys, we're going to start off by finding the price per kilogram using this method. Then we're going to find, okay, what does the mass need to be to get that price per kilogram if the price is £5.60? So, working out the price per kilogram with £5.88. What do? We're going to do the price. So, let's write it up here, shall we? So, price per kg equals price divided by the mass in kilograms. So, the price divided by the mass in kilograms. So, what's the price per kg when the price is £5.88 and the mass is £1.68? So, when price equals £5.88, price per kilogram equals our price, £5.88, divided by our mass, 1.68. What's that going to be, guys? 5.88 divided by 1.68, it's going to be 7/2, or 3.5. So the price per kilogram here is £3.50. Now, we need to find the mass that will give a price per kilogram of £3.50 when the price is £5.60. So we need mass when price per kilogram equals £3.50 and price equals £5.60. So now we know that our price per kilogram is £3.50 and we need our price of £5.60 divided by our mass to give us £3.50. So we're going to rearrange this equation. We're going to multiply both sides by m, and then we're going to divide both sides by 3.5. We're going to get, and I'm just going to move this so I have enough space for my working out. We're going to get that mass is equal to 5.6 divided by 3.5. 5.6 divided by 3.5 is going to be 1.6. So we now know that the mass required to get a price per kilogram of £3.50 is £1.60. We need to work out the reduction in the mass as a percentage. So how do we find the percentage change? What we're going to do is so percentage change equals change over original times by 100. What's the change? We go from £1.68 to £1.60, and we divide that by the original. What's the original? £1.68. Then we times by 100. That's going to be 0.08 over 1.68 times by 100. Guys, we can type that into our calculator. Fraction 0.08 over 1.68 times by 100. Guys, we type that into our calculator, and when we do so, what do we get? We get 4.76 as our answer. To 2 decimal places, it will be 4.761, which goes to 4.76 to 2dp. Guys, talk to me in the chat. I was in my own world a little bit there, running through the answer. Did we get that one? Did it make sense? That was a tricky question. Yasmina Bailey got it. Good work. MUFC Sam over on the YouTube said that is so confusing. Yep, that is a confusing one. That is definitely a confusing one. Hopefully it made sense. So nicely done, White Love Heart. Nicely done, Love Heart Hands. F. Barnesy said, do you need to put percentage? You wouldn't in this case because the X comes before the percentage. So we can say X equals 4.76. NJ said, hello, sir. I've been busy today, so I couldn't join earlier, but I'll leave the stream on as I'm doing an Edexcel maths paper. Awesome, mate. Awesome. Good to have you on. Thank you for stopping by. Guys, a few moments ago, I let everybody know that I'm live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time and encouraged people to come over from the TT to the YT. I'm going to do the same thing again because the number on the YouTube just jumped and it's starting to pop off a bit over there. So, guys, if you want to, come over. 5 seconds to screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question 21, 22, and 23. Couple of 1 markers. Guys, drop in the chat. What is going to be the answer to 21? A, B, C, or D? M said, why do you start with £5.88 and not £5.60? The reason is because we have to divide by our original price. Wait, let me see. Wait. Okay, let me answer that question in a bit because I need to actually look at what the question was. Quite a few people dropping B in the chat. Guys, if you said B, you are exactly right. That is the equation of our circle. Why is it B? It's B because the general equation of a circle is, oh, I can't write for some reason, is x squared plus y squared equals r squared, where r is the radius, so here the radius would be the square root of 6. But either way, we don't really need that part. We just need to know that it's x squared plus y squared equals r squared, so it's the one which has x squared plus y squared in it. What about 22, guys? Drop your answer in the chat for this one. Is it going to be A, B, C, or D? 2024 GCSEs thinks it's A. Aisha thinks it's A. Charles Butler, that was maybe for the last one. MUFC Sam says A. Jay says A. Guys, if you said A, you are exactly correct. Our answer to this one is A. Why is it A? What does reciprocal means? Reciprocal just means 1 over. Why does that mean that the reciprocal of 8 to the power of 5 is 8 to the power of minus 5? Because if we remember, when we have a negative power, we just do 1 over. For example, 7 to the power of negative 2 is 1 over 7 to the power of 2, which is 1 over 49. So by making that power negative, we essentially do 1 over what we had before. Okay, hopefully that made sense, guys. On to question 23. I know a lot of you guys are not going to like this one or even my explanation for it. Let's have a look. Question 23, this one says factorize 3x squared minus 16x minus 12. I am not going to go through the longer method. I'm just going to do this with trial and error. To anybody who does want to know how to do it with the longer method, you can kind of look up YouTube videos or whatever, or watch it on TikTok, because a lot of people do explain it. Personally, I always recommend to do this with trial and error. This is a particularly difficult one. Normally it will be easier than this because this will be a prime number on the end. But either way, let's just get it done. So what do we need to do here? We need to factorize 3x squared minus 16x minus 12. What we see, though, is that we have a 3 in front of the x squared, which makes it pretty annoying. Normally, we find two numbers which times to give the number on the end and add to give the number in the middle. But in this case, because we have the 3 here, that's not going to work out perfectly. So what are we going to do? We're going to write out our two double brackets. In our first bracket, we're going to have 3x, and in our second bracket, we're going to have regular x. Why do we have 3x and regular x? Because these two need to expand to give our 3x squared. Now, what are we going to have in these two gaps? We know that we need to find two numbers which multiply to give minus 12, because when we expand these, this number times this number is going to be the only one which doesn't have any x's in it. So we need these two numbers to still times to make minus 12. But when in theory we expand this bracket, we're going to do 3x times this number and this number times x. So whatever number we have here, when it comes to making the x, is going to be times by 3x. What that basically means is that it's very difficult to use some kind of formulaic approach to getting it, and instead the best way to do it, in my opinion, is going to be to use trial and error. So we need to find two numbers which times to make minus 12 and add to make minus 16 when one of them's times by 3 and one of them's times by 1. If we think about our potential candidates here, guys, what do we have? Well, numbers timesing to make minus 12, we could have 1 and minus 12, 2 and minus 6, or minus 6 and 2, and then 3 and 4. We can try with a bunch of different ones. I'm thinking we're going to go with minus 6 on the right and plus 2 on the left. Minus 6 on the right and plus 2 on the left. Now, why is this our answer? When we do our 3x times by our minus 6, they're going to expand to give minus 18x. And then when we do our 2 times by our x, they're going to expand to give plus 2x, and minus 18x plus 2x is going to join together to give minus 16x. So that is going to be our answer to this one. The best way to do it, guys, is to use trial and error. Because I've done a load of these in my time, I went straight to the answer. It might take you guys 2 or 3 minutes to play around with different options, but either way, you will end up getting it with trial and error. And like I say, this was a particularly difficult one now. Hey, Holly just said, OMG, I get it now. Whoa, I've never been able to do that. Hey, that's so good to hear. That's so good to hear. Jenna Sheena said 10 out of 10. Emily said, so do you just guess? You just do educated guesses. Educated guesses until you get one that works. I'm very glad that that made sense for you now, Holly, because I wasn't sure about using this method. Normally people kick off about it because they like, some kind of formulaic way. But to be honest, trial and error is just the best for that one. Charles Savage says, very helpful. Hey, that's good to hear as well. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot this page. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question 24. Bit of a sticky one here. 4 marks up for grabs. Guys, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes for this, maybe 3 minutes, and then we'll go through it. Dealing with our straight lines. Jenna Sheena said, I love lines. Awesome. That's good to hear because lines come up a lot. I think it's going to feature pretty heavily in papers 2 and 3. Hey, thank you very much, H. Nice to see that the numbers are a little bit up on the YouTube as well. 40 of us watching now on the YouTube. Absolutely brilliant. 200 on the, 220 on the TikTok as well. Guys, if you didn't hear me say it earlier, I'm live on YouTube as well at the same time. And the chat's always popping off over there. The community's wicked and everything, as well as it's always obviously wicked on the TikTok as well. Yeah, consider coming over. And if you do come over, introduce yourself in the chat. Just say hi or something so I know you've come from the TikTok. It means that you can watch it in a bigger format. The chat's all recorded and everything. Also, all of the live streams are recorded and uploaded straight to the channel because it's also the live stream which is uploaded. You just have to go to the live tab, click that one, and it will take you over there. Fatima Gassema says, hello from Gambia, West Africa. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. I've not been to West Africa. I've been to Kenya. I've been to Morocco a few times as well. Beautiful, beautiful place. Sophie Edwards says, hi. I'm guessing that means you came from the TikTok. Welcome to the YouTube family. And Colin said, Ghana. Hey, represent. Represent. Hey, where did we go? Couple more moments for this one, guys. AMT back in the chat. Welcome back, my friend. Good to have you. Anybody else from other countries as well? Drop it in the chat now. It would be cool to see if people are joining from all around the world. I know we have a few Australians who joined, a few people from India who joined. Oh, Mana Manu says, I'm on 2%, gotta go. Hey, good to have you on, my friend. Hey, we've got Alex from Nigeria. We've got Rose from Somalia. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Anybody else from different countries who's on here? Let me know in the chat now. Let me know. Mysoon is joining from Algeria. Sweet Precious from Mauritius. Hani Nadar from Kenya. Mia from Brazil. Arisha from the Netherlands, I think that is. Hey, guys, that went so much better than I thought. And K is joining from Ukraine. GCSEs is in UK. Couple of people in from Namibia. Couple of people in from Ethiopia. Hey, guys, that's so sick, man. Samster's joining from Luxembourg. Hey, that's so cool. CM30 says, get on with it. Maybe I'll give it another couple of moments. Surgical from Madagascar. Guys, awesome. Hey, that was sick. Okay, question 24, guys. Let's have a look. Are we ready for this one? Abdi from Manchester, come on. Guys, let's have a look at question 24. This one says, a straight line is perpendicular to the straight line through 2, 8, and 6, 15. It also passes through 0, 9, and x, 17. We're asked to work out the value of x. A bunch of different ways to do this, guys. I'm going to do it the quickest way, but I will explain in a fair bit of detail. So, first off, we know that the straight line is perpendicular to the straight line which goes through these 2 points. Whenever we see that one line is perpendicular to another, guys, we're instantly thinking, okay, the gradient is going to be the negative reciprocal. The gradient is going to be the negative reciprocal. Now, how can we use that to help us? Well, we can find the gradient of this line. To work out the gradient of a line, we can use the fact that the gradient of a line is equal to the change in y. Let me write it out fully, actually. It's equal to the change in y divided by the change in x. Between these 2 points, guys, what's the change in y and what's the change in x? In the x direction, we go from 2 to 6. So that's a change of plus 4 in the x direction. And what about the change in the y direction? We go from 8 to 15. So that's plus 7 in the y direction. So the change in y divided by the change in x is 7 over 4. Now, we know that our line is perpendicular to that line. So the gradient of our line, so gradient of the perpendicular line, is going to be equal to the negative reciprocal of 7 over 4. What's the negative reciprocal of 7 over 4, guys? We have to make it negative, and we have to flip that fraction, so we get negative 4 over 7. Okay, now we have the gradient of our line. The gradient of our line is going to be minus 4 over 7. So we can say that the equation of our line is minus 4 over 7x plus c. There we've used the fact that the general equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. Now to find the full equation of this line, we're going to find the value of c, which is the y-intercept. We know that our line passes through 0, 9. Well, 0, 9 is the point which is 0 units across and 9 units up. In other words, the y-intercept is going to be 9 because this is 0 units across, 9 units up. So the y-intercept is going to be 9. So we can say using this, that c is equal to 9. So we can write out the equation of our line, y equals minus 4 over 7x plus 9. Finally, guys, we need to find the value of x when y is 17. Now that we have the equation of our line, we can simply substitute y equals 17 into our formula, or our equation, I should say, and we're going to find the value of x. So when y is 17, what's x going to be? So we have 17 equals minus 4 over 7x plus 9. We are going to move the 9 over to the other side, so minus 9 from both sides. 8 equals minus 4 over 7x. Then, guys, we can divide both sides by minus 4 over 7 to get the x on its own. So at the moment the x is being multiplied by minus 4 over 7, we're going to divide both sides by minus 4 over 7 times 7, 56, divide 4, 56 by 4, 14. So, guys, we're going to get that x is equal to minus 14. Let me quickly double check that. Don't want to be making any silly mistakes right now. Divide by 4 over 7. Yeah, beautiful. Minus 14. J Blue Butterfly said, I came over to the YouTube. Awesome, guys. We're now up to 45 people watching on the YouTube. Let's see how many people we can bring over. GCSEs 2024 said minus 14. Guys, if you got that one, superb job. Jenna Sheena says 10, 10, Sigma. Come on. Solomon said, how did you get the 9? We got the 9 from the y-intercept up here, because we know when we're 0 across, we're 9 units up. So that essentially tells us our y-intercept, because it's our value of y when x is equal to 0. Love Heart Hand says, nice, I got it. Superb work. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot this page. We got lots of pretty colors out. Meal Deal 05 said, there's a ghost behind you. Can't see anything. Okay, A says, can you multiply by 7 then divide by minus 4? Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what I did. Okay, quite a few people coming from the old TT over to the YT. Awesome. Guys, we're going to move on now to question 25. Another big old 4-marker. We have this paper now on the back foot. Not too long to go at all. Couple of difficult questions. I think there's 30 questions in total. Let's see. Guys, I'm going to give you a while for this. Maybe 2 minutes. Oh, no, 3 minutes, I should say. And I'm also going to say, guys, anybody who wasn't here before or who didn't have time to say before because I got going with the question, if you're joining from a country, or actually, no, everybody put the flags of the country that they're joining from in the chat now. And can we do that on the YouTube and the TikTok? I'm super curious. Obviously, if you just want to focus on the maths, keep plowing through with this question. But can everybody put the flags and the name of the country that they're from in the chat now? I think that would be super cool. I'm guessing it's obviously mostly British. Okay. Now I'm going to say if it's not the UK, actually, because I just realized that's going to crowd out all the other flags. So if it's not the UK, Leia says Italy. I know I did say UK as well before, guys. I realize there's 250 people, though. H joining from Algeria. Brene from Ghana. This is testing my flag knowledge. Guys, maybe actually put the name of the country as well. I definitely don't know all of the flags. Most of them I know. Jenna Sheena's joining from Japan. Cool. You guys are testing me, though. I can't lie. I was a bit overconfident. A couple of people in from South Africa. Oh, somebody joining from Chad. That's cool. Nelly from Sweden. A couple of people in here from Sudan. Awesome. Man like Ollie's Polish. Awesome. Hey, that's super cool to see, guys. That's super cool to see. A couple of people from Albania. A couple of people from Ireland. I knew we had a lot of international people joining, but I didn't know how international. Man like Jimmy McGill's joining from the land down under. It must be a funky time with you. Unless it's actually early morning, maybe. Guys, let me know when you're ready for this one. Drop ready in the chat, and we'll talk about it. Czar is ready. White Love Heart says, I CBA for functions. Guys, let's have a look. A lot of people saying that they're not fans of functions. Let's check this one out, see what you can do. I'll do my best to make it as clear as possible. Consider this as a full revision session of functions. If you don't like functions at the moment, it's all the more reason to listen carefully. Guys, question 25. Let's see what go on with this one. We're told that f of x is equal to 2x plus 5, and we're asked to show that 3 lots of f of x minus 12 lots of f to the minus 1 of x simplifies to an integer. Step number 1, guys, let's find f to the minus 1 of x. So let's find the inverse function of f. How do we do that, guys? Well, we're going to start off by swapping our f of x for a y, and we're going to write out that y equals 2x plus 5. Then, this is just a process to be memorized, this part. We start off by swapping f of x for y, and then we're going to rearrange this equation to make x the subject. So we're going to start off by subtracting 5 from both sides. We're going to get y minus 5 equals 2x. Then to get the x on its own, we're going to divide both sides by 2. We're going to get that x is equal to y minus 5 over 2. Now to find our inverse function, all that we're going to do is we're going to swap our x for the inverse function of f. So f to the minus 1 of x equals, and then we're going to swap our y for an x. So we have x minus 5 over 2. So that, guys, is a process to be memorized for finding the inverse function. Now we're going to write this out, substituting f of x in for f of x, and f to the minus 1 of x in for f to the minus 1 of x. So we have 3 lots of f of x, so 3 lots of f of x is 2x plus 5. So 3 lots of 2x plus 5 minus 12 lots of the inverse function of f. So 12 lots of this. So minus 12 lots of x minus 5 over 2. We can expand these brackets on the left-hand side. 3 times by 2x is 6x. 3 times by 5 is 15. Then we can simplify this. What are we going to do? We're going to recognize that 12 times x minus 5 divided by 2 is the same as, so copy down, minus 6 lots of x minus 5. Now, how does that happen? What we're doing is we're multiplying by 12 and dividing by 2, which is the same as multiplying by 6. Now, we can expand those brackets, 6x plus 15 minus 6x. Then we have minus 6 times minus 5 gives us plus 30. Then, guys, what are we going to do? We are going to cancel out the 6x and the minus 6x, and we're going to do 15 plus 30 gives us 45. And guys, we can see that we must have done this right because we do in fact have an integer, and you're going to be right if it's the right integer. I should add 45. That is going to be our answer. Guys, looking at the chat, let's see what's popping off. It seems like something was just popping off on the YouTube. Did we have a bit of drama, guys? Did we have a little bit of drama? A couple of people are saying, what the heck? Oppo's saying, weirdo, Holly, strange lad. I think somebody was moving mad in the chat, maybe. A lot of people are saying that that one makes sense now. Awesome to see, guys, because that is a tricky question. Matt B08 said, got that. Come on. Mary says, good. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Merv said that one makes sense now. Awesome. Guys, those are my favorite comments, I gotta say. Those are my favorite comments. My favorite comments are the ones which say that I didn't understand it before, but now I understand it now. That's where the real big progress is being made. So, yeah, you know, they're my favorite comments. Looking at the chat, guys. Here we have a fair bit of work to do. Oppo says, how many questions is there left? 29 questions in total, which means 4 questions to go. 4 questions to go. Gamer Boy ANPYT said, I beg we do higher rather than foundation. This is higher, my friend. H says at Excel right. This one's an AQA paper, but they're very, very similar. Anybody who is doing Excel, this is still very, very good practice. Let's see. No worries, Gamer Boy. No worries. Question 26, guys. TTT says, I got 12. Anybody else got 12? Zest says, are you from South Africa? I'm actually from the UK. I've picked up a bit of a funky accent, I think, because I've done a little bit of traveling and I have a lot of friends from different countries. So I've picked up a little bit of a fusion, I think. Like of my good friends, one's from Armenia, one's from Turkey, one's from Hong Kong, one's from Australia. So I picked up a bit of a mix, I think. But yeah, I'm from the UK. Guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. We have got this paper on the back foot now. Let's see. Yeah, exactly, Zest. Fully from the UK. White Love Heart says ready. Aaliyah's ready. Love Heart Hands is ready. Guys, let's see what's going on. Question 26. This one says that 2 objects, J and K, are applying pressure to areas of the ground. Pressure is equal to force over area. We're told that for J, the force is 18.9 and the area is 0.45. The ratio of the pressure for J to the pressure for K is 7 to 8. The ratio of the area for J to the area for K is 9 to 5. Work out the force for K. Guys, bunch of subbing in and rearranging for this one. Let's get it done. So, first off, we're going to recognize that we don't have the pressure for J, but we do have the force and the area. So we can calculate the pressure by substituting the force and the area into the formula. So we have the pressure of J is equal to the force, 18.9, divided by the area of 0.45. Pretty sure that's 21. 18.9 divided by 0.45. Nope, I got half, so it's 42. Yeah, 42. That, guys, is why you always use your calculator. So 18.9 divided by 0.45 is 42. So we know that the pressure for J is 42. We know that the ratio of the pressure for J to the pressure for K is 7 to 8. So what we can do is we can divide this by 7 to find one part of the ratio. So we can do 42 divided by 7, which is equal to 6. That's going to give us one part of the ratio. And then to find the pressure for K, we can do 6 times by 8, because we have 8 parts in our ratio representing the pressure for K. That is going to give us 48, which is going to be the pressure for K. Now, we want to work out the force for K, so we're also going to have to work out the area for K. We know that the ratio of the area for J to the area for K is 9 to 5. We know the area for J is 0.45. So this time we can do 0.45 divided by how many parts in the ratio represent the area for J. It's going to be 9. So we can do 0.45 divided by 9, which gives us 0.05. So that's one part of our second ratio. Working out then the area for K is going to be 5 times by 0.05. So we're going to do 5 times 0.05, which is going to give us 0.25, and that is the area for K. Final step, guys, to work out the pressure for, not the pressure, to work out the force for K. What are we going to do? We know that pressure is equal to force divided by area. We can times both sides by area. We get that force is equal to pressure times by area. So force is equal to pressure times by area. Our pressure for K was 48. Our area for K was 0.25. So we do 48 times 0.25, which, guys, on our calculators is going to be 12. Guys, if you got 12 as your answer, which I know a few people did, congratulations. Superb work. Difficult question there. Yasmina Bailey, nicely done. Holly, nicely done. Superb work to anybody who got that. A bunch of legwork in that one, bunch of rearranging, bunch of simplifying and everything. Slicks has just joined the chat, says, hey, you doing foundation today? Yep, my friend, I am. I'm going to be doing foundation 6 till 8. Maybe I'll start a little bit late, probably 6:15 or something, because I'm just going to take a little bit of time between the sessions, have some food, have a glass of water and everything, and then I'm going to go live again for another couple of hours this evening. To anybody who's doing higher, who's doing this paper, you could also join that one for a little bit of chilled maths revision. Yeah, 5 seconds to screenshot, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time to move on to 27. 3 questions to go, guys. Are we going to be finished in 2 hours? Probably not. But we'll be finished in just over. So I reckon, guys, we got about, let me check the questions. Okay. We got about 12 minutes to go, I would say. We got about 12 minutes to go. Man like Ethan Barnes said that one looked worse than it was. Yeah, I would agree. It looked like there was loads going on. He said, are you watching the Champions League? Definitely. Ooh, actually, that's important because I need to make sure that the foundation stream is started early enough that will definitely be finished by 8. Okay, we can do that. We can definitely do that. Man like Nadesh R says, I'm doing my masters, but I find these interesting. Hey, that's good to hear, Nadesh. What are you doing your masters in? Let me know. That's nice. Oppo said supporting Dortmund only because they're the underdog. And also, yeah, because they're the underdog, I'd say. I mean, Madrid are definitely the favourites. Nafila said, gotta go, I'll be back in the next live. Bye. Hey, good to have you on, Nafila. Man like Ethan Barnes is getting the yellow wall out. Guys, question 27. Let's have a look at this one. Man like Sudan is saying, Hala Madrid. Yeah, I know we're going to have a lot of people in the chat. Guys, after this, we're going to do a vote for who we're supporting. We're going to vote in the chat with yellow circles or white circles. So get your yellow and white circles ready. But first, let me go through this question. Is it Hala Madrid or is it Dortmund? Who's it going to be? Guys, question 27, let's have a look. This one says, to be rented, a bedroom must have a floor area of at least 6.51 meters squared. A bedroom has a rectangular floor, and the floor measures 2.4 meters by 2.9 meters, each correct to 2 significant figures. Show that the bedroom can be rented. So, guys, we don't currently know the measurements of the floor, but we do know that correct to 2 sig figures, they're 2.4 and 2.9. To show that the bedroom can be rented, we're going to show that the value of the area based on this is at least 6.51. How are we going to do that? Well, what's the smallest possible area? So the smallest possible area. Well, the smallest possible area is going to be found by doing the smallest possible width by the smallest possible length. What are the smallest possible widths and lengths? Well, the smallest possible values are going to be the lower bounds for these two, and the lower bounds for these two are going to be 2.35 and 2.85. So these are the smallest possible numbers that would round up to 2 significant figures to 2.4 and 2.9. They're the smallest possible numbers that would round up to these values. So these are the lower bounds for the size of the floor. The smallest possible value then of the area is going to be 2.35 times by 2.85. We bring that into the calculator, guys. Oh, I typed it in wrong. 2.35 times 2.85. It's going to be 6.6975. So the smallest possible area of the room is greater than how big the floor area has to be. Therefore, it can be rented. Guys, if you got that one, great work. Nicely done, Holly. Nicely done, Olu Made. Superb work, guys. I'm going to move on now. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys, just 2 questions to go. This one is a long one, but this one is only going to take us about 2 minutes. This is a pretty tricky question. I would say it's a solid grade 8. Hard to say, really. Hard to say. Let's say grade 8. It's a grade 8 question. It's not vectors proof, but it is proof. Oppo said that seems like very little for 3 marks. Yep, so 1 mark would come for your lower bounds. 1 mark would come for finding your area, and 1 mark would come for the correct conclusion there. Lisa said, I've done this one. Quite a few people asking if I'm live tomorrow. Yep, I'm going to be live for 4 hours tomorrow, guys. 3 till 5 and 6 till 8 again. I might even do a late night session, depending on how the lives go tomorrow. Depending on how many people join and all that stuff. And also depending on how much energy I have, because I think I'm going to be pretty knackered. White Love Heart said, I'm leaving now. I don't need grade 8s. Thanks for your help with explanations. You're very welcome. Consider staying for the next question, I would say, because it's a pretty good question, and we're going to go through this one shortly. But equally, you know, if you want to call it a day, that's also very fair. There's also a lot of good content in this question. Guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. I've seen a lot of people have just dropped off the YouTube as well. My water just went down the wrong hole. Okay, guys, quite a few people ready for this. Let's have a look what's going on. Difficult question, grade 8. Let's try and understand it. The question says, AB, BC, and CD are sides of a regular 12-sided polygon. We're told that CDMN is a square. We're asked to prove that points A, B, and N lie on a straight line. In other words, to prove that this is a straight line. Let's start off, guys, by just drawing a line over here. Now, because it's not drawn accurately, this is bendy, but in theory, what we're trying to show is that this is a straight line. Now, if this is a straight line, then these 2 angles are going to add up to 180 degrees. That's all we really have to work with. So we're going to try and find some way to check that these add up to 180 degrees. Now, how could we go about finding one of these angles? Well, we can work out the size of the interior angles in a regular 12-sided polygon. We know, and we can use that to work out the size of one interior angle. We know that the sum of the interior angles of a regular polygon is given by the formula n minus 2 times by 180, where n is the number of sides, so we have the number of sides minus 2 times 180. This, guys, is a formula for the sum of the interior angles. I should technically write that in if you guys are going to screenshot it. So the sum of the interior angles in a regular polygon. To find the size of one angle then, we're going to do the sum of all of them. So n minus 2 times 180, then divide by the number of angles or the number of sides. So we can work out this angle by doing the number of sides, which is 12, minus 2 times by 180 divided by the number of sides, which is 12. So that's going to be 1,800 divided by 12, which is 150. So, guys, we've now found that each of the interior angles in our shape, nicely done Holly, Yasmina, and Oppo, is 150. So this is 150. We can also say that this angle here is 150. Now, how's that going to help us? Well, we know also that this angle here is 90 degrees because it's a right angle. And we also know that angles around a point add up to 360. Because we have 2 of our angles, this is going to be 360 minus those 2. So we can do 360 minus 150 minus 90. And that, guys, is going to be, I'll just use my calculator, 360 minus 150 minus 90. That is going to be 120. So we know that this is 120. Now, where can we go from there? We can also use something about the fact that the side lengths on our square are the same as the side lengths on our polygon. What does that allow us to do? It allows us to conclude that this triangle here is actually an isosceles triangle because this side length is equal to this side length. So we can draw on those isosceles triangle lines. Now, what do we know about isosceles triangles? We know that not only do the angles add up to 180, but also these two angles are going to be the same. So to find the size of the angles, we can do 180 minus 120, which is 60. That's going to give us the sum of those two angles, and to find each one we can do 60 divided by 2, which is going to be 30. So we have that each of these angles is equal to 30. What have we shown, guys? We've shown that if this is 150 and this is 30, ABN has to be a straight line. Why? Because angles on a straight line add to 180, and 150 plus 30 does equal 180. Guys, that is our answer to this one. Question number 28. Talk to me in the chat. How did we found it? Taylor said, personally, I don't think that one's as hard as it looks. Definitely looks hard. Rassar Moshe said, sick explanation. Jenna Sheena said, I understand, Sigma. Oh, God. Yasmina said that was so complex. Guys, that was a difficult question, I've got to tell you. GCSE's 2024 said amazing. Hey, that's good to hear, Solomon. That's good to hear. You weren't expecting it, were you? I can tell. Okay, guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on. Final answer to a question. Zest says, how do you know that those two side lengths are the same? We know because if we look up here, they're kind of a common side length. So this is a side of our square, and it's also a side of our regular polygon. Okay, guys, question 29. This is a glory lap, a difficult question, but this one is very much by the book. This is one that if you know it, you're going to get it straight away. If you don't know it, you're going to have no idea how to do it. But after the explanation, you will. Guys, after this, you know what time it is. It's time for our party. Another day, another past paper will be complete. Rose said, can I use exterior angles to find the 30? Yes, you definitely can. Yes, you definitely can. Lay said, math suddenly got very interesting. Good to hear we're making it a little bit more enjoyable. Hopefully a lot of it, but you know how it is. I can't really say that. Sedan said, factorize it. There is definitely some factorizing involved. A couple of people are starting to drop answers in the chat. Guys, let's close the book. Let's get the final question of the day complete. Well, the final question of this session complete. Let's see what's going on. Question 29. It says the equation of a curve is given by y equals x squared minus 18x plus 70. It says by completing the square, work out the coordinates of the turning point. You must show your working, guys. Completing the square, this is a process to be memorized. How do we do it? What we do is we start off by writing out y equals. We open a bracket. At the front of that bracket, we put an x. Then we look up at our quadratic, we look for the number next to the x, and here because it's a minus 18, we halve that to get minus 9. Whatever number is there, we halve it. If that was plus 30, this would be plus 15. If that was plus 100, this would be plus 50. Because it's minus 18, this becomes minus 9. We square our bracket, we always do that, we just write that in. We copy down this number on the end 70, so we copy down plus 70. And then we look inside our bracket for this number here, we square it, and we take it away. Minus 9 squared is minus 9 times minus 9, which is positive 81. We take that away, so we have 70 minus 81. This number here, guys, we are always going to subtract. It never is a plus. If this is a positive in here, we still take it away. If this is a negative in here, we still take it away. Next step, guys, we are going to simplify. Y equals x minus 9 squared. 70 minus 81 is going to give us minus 11. Now, guys, from here, we can simply read our turning point from our working out. The x-coordinate of the turning point is going to be the reverse of this number here. So because this is a minus 9, it becomes positive 9. So we swap the sign to get the x-coordinate, so it's positive 9. And then to get the y-coordinate, we just look at that number on the end, minus 11. Just look at that number on the end, minus 11. And that, guys, is going to give us our answer to our final question, 9 minus 11. Glory says, party time. A says, yay, got it right. Good work. A, Jenna Sheena says, I get it now. Hey, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Apple user 9967, you are very welcome. Oppo said it makes sense now. Holly said, oh, yay. Guys, you know the drill. What time is it? Guys, let me know in the chat. What time is it? What time is it? Talk to me. What time is it? Let's see. Does anybody know? GCSEs 2024. Glory, A, Aliyah. Everybody knows what time it is, guys. It is time for our little celebration that we do at the end of every session. Guys, please, 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 everybody spam the chat full of as many emojis as you can. We want the good vibe emojis. We want the dancing emojis. We want the lightning emojis. We want the electricity. We want the music. We want the disco balls. We want the fire. We want the ice. We want the moon. We want the sun. Guys, superb work today. Another day is past. Well, it's only 5 o'clock, but you know what I mean. Another day of revision, you could say, is past, and another past paper is complete. If you want to do well in your paper 2s, you guys are doing exactly what you need to be doing. You're here putting in the work, even though it's hot outside. There's things you might rather be doing. You're here doing the past papers, putting in the work, and it will pay off. Let's have a look what's popping in the chats. Over on the YouTube, we have A partying, Charlotte partying. A's got the trophies out. Love to see it. Glory's got that tango dancing. Sandy's got that big mouth blue guy out. Holly's got the star. Sandy's got the green face. A's got the wave. Glory's got the sun, the fire, the rainbow, and the clouds. Jacko's got the medal. Charlotte's got the popcorn. Ethan Barnes is back in Dortmund tonight. I can imagine there's going to be quite a few yellow flags and circles being popped in the chat in a couple of minutes. Smoky Clips is partying. Holly's partying. Oppo's partying. Charlotte 26 says goal, 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 golazo. A is partying. Oppo's partying. Guys, superb work today. Jenna Sheena's got those wolf emojis out. Come on. Nia's got the peace emojis. Love Heart's got the bottles popping. And the magic. Oppo said, saw a bunch of Dortmund fans yesterday. They're going to be around. They're going to be around. Okay, guys. Little moment of honor for the Champions League tonight. Talk to me in the chat. Are we back in Dortmund or is it Hala Madrid? What's going on? Talk to me in the chat. We're going to go white circles for Hala Madrid. We're going to go yellow circles for Dortmund. I don't know what the Dortmund, equivalent of Hala is. We've got some Hala Madrid guys. Don't put your team, put the circles. Put the circles in the chat. Oppo's back in Dortmund. Let's see. Ram says Hala Madrid again. Jenna Sheena's back in Dortmund. Roses is going white. Elachino's going yellow. A bunch of people who are wanting to football are going to be like, what's going on right now? A lot of people. Oh, guys, it's looking pretty split. I got to say. Okay, let me set up a quick poll. Set up a quick poll. I'm going to set it up on the TikTok. And you guys on the YouTube, keep voting with your emojis, okay? So, is it Dortmund? Or is it Hala Madrid? Let me put that in there. Let me go options. Let me go option 1, Dortmund. I want to see what the people are saying. If I can get this out there. Dortmund, Madrid. Guys, 130 of us still on. Talk to me in the chat. Is it Dortmund or Madrid? Not in the chat, actually. In the poll, in the poll. So go up to that top left-hand corner if you can. You see that little checklist? Have your vote. Who we backing tonight? Dortmund or Madrid? Let's see what's popping in the chat. Charlotte said, I don't know any of them teams. Yep, I know, guys. There's going to be a lot of people thinking that. A says, yep, same Charlotte. Oppo says, Madrid are going to win, but it's Dortmund in my heart. Yeah, I get that. Guys, top left-hand corner, have your vote. Is it Hala Madrid or is it Dortmund? For anybody who doesn't know, Madrid is Spain or in Spain, and Dortmund's Germany. Looking at that poll in the top left-hand corner, we've got 40 votes. Why is it that you guys vote for these polls, but not for the maths ones? We got 61% Madrid at the moment, 40% Dortmund. 41 votes in total, 130 people on the stream. Guys, can we increase that to 50 votes? Okay. 44 votes, Madrid still 60%. I thought it would be more divided, to be honest. GCSEs 2024, you're very welcome. Guys, because I'm going live as well this evening, 6 till 8, I'm probably going to do it 6:15 till 8 or something. I'm going to go now. We're going to call it a day. I need to let my voice recover and everything. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm also live tomorrow twice. I'm going to be going live 3 till 5 again for higher tier at Excel. I'm going to be going live 6 till 8 for foundation tier at Excel. Depending on how tired I am afterwards, I might even go live a third time. We're going to see what's going on with that. So, Aliyah says goodbye. Savannah, bye. EF Barnsley, nice one for the live. You're very welcome, mate. You're very welcome. Thanks for joining. Well done for putting the work in. Adios, Savannah. Adios, Zara. You're very welcome, Rose. Hani Nadar, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Love Heart. You're very welcome, Sudan Flag. Guys, thank you for all the nice messages in the chat. Great job this evening. You're in here putting in the work. It takes two to tango. So take a moment for yourself as well and say thank you for yourself because you managed to actually get the paper done as well. Okay. Guys on the YouTube, thank you very much as well. Today's session's been great. Holly, you're very welcome. Oppo, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Ethan Barnes. And to you, Charlotte 26, and you, Glory. Guys, superb work this evening. If you want to join again later, 6:15 till 8, feel more than free. Everybody's welcome. A lot of you are going to be very tired if you've done that whole paper, so maybe you just want to do some chilled out revision later, in which case, guys, the foundation session this evening is going to be perfect. Just join for the good vibes if you're revising another subject as well, or chill out. I will be wrapped up in time for the Fußball because I'm going to be watching myself, hopefully. We're gonna get it done in time. Don't worry about that. Okay, guys. And yeah, to anybody asking, this live is recorded, uploaded straight to the channel, so you can check it out over there. Guys, I'm gonna say ciao, arrivederci. Catch you guys either later this evening or tomorrow. Well done again for the session.